left off last time with the butt sniffers seeing Massive Jeff coming down the sidewalk toward their office. As they awaited to expected confrontation, Massive Jeff, rather than kicking in the door, knocked and waited for them to answer. Max, being the head of the group, volunteered to go open the door. Max approached and opened the door slowly.
Hello, sir. May we help you?
Hi, I'm Massive Jeff. I was wondering if we could talk for a while. I have some things I'd like to discuss.
Okay. Just know, we're not looking for any trouble. We're not looking for a fight or any other type of confrontation. If you'd like to come in, sit down and talk, that would be fine.
That's no problem. I don't want to fight either. I'm really not a mean person. I know I beat up a bunch of cops, but JEFFIPOO lied to me and told me they wanted to kill me. So I was just defending myself. I feel bad about it now, and I'm really mad at JEFFIPOO because he constantly lied to me about everything.
From what we've heard, he has done the same thing to everybody else too. So I guess with him, it doesn't matter whether you're family or foe. He lies to everybody the same.
Massive Jeff and the butt sniffers go to the break room and begin to have a discussion.
Guys, I have to be honest about something. I'm beginning to think I'm a little crazy. I was told that I was cloned from JEFFIPOO, but it's really strange. I have these weird, vivid memories about something in the past. I'm seeing all kinds of creatures wandering around. I'm seeing both giants and little people. None of them are human like you see today.
Guys, can I cut in for a minute? I don't know if this will be relevant or not, but I wanted to share it.
Sure, Pixie, say your piece.
When Massive Jeff walked in, I picked up on a particular scent that he has.
Well, if he's a clone of Jeff, that doesn't surprise me at all. Jeff never showers or washes his hair, so his scent is, rather, shall we say unpleasant.
No, it's not that kind of scent. This one doesn't stink like Jeff. And his hair isn't greasy like Jeff's. But what I'm trying to say is, his scent isn't human.
You know, I picked up on that too. I knew it wasn't a scent I usually picked up off of humans, but I thought maybe it was my sinus acting up again.
Excuse me a minute, guys. I'll be right back.
Max goes to his office and places a couple of phone calls. He has called Fred at Dorkish Labs with a specific request. He returns to tell the others.
Okay. Massive Jeff, I'm determined to help you find some answers. I just contacted Dorkish Labs and they have agreed to give you a DNA test to see if they can determine your ancestry. Would you agree to having that done?
Sure. If it can help me find out who I really am, I'd agree to just about anything.
Okay then. Let's head on over there and see what they can do.
The butt sniffers and Massive Jeff jump in the buttmobile and head on over to Dorkish Labs. They are met by one of the scientists.
Hi guys, good to see you again. Fred's getting everything set up in the lab. Just have a seat and he'll be with you in a few minutes.
No problem, and thank you. We very much appreciate this.
After a few minutes, Fred appears. They have everything prepared.
Okay, gentlemen, let's go back to the lab so we can get this done. It will be quick and painless, just in case you were wondering.
I'm not worrying about that. I'm not a pussy.
No, I don't imagine you are. I would venture to guess that you could withstand a great deal of pain. This won't take long.
The testing is done, and an analysis is run on Massive Jeff's DNA. Fred returns to the group to inform them of the findings.
Okay, gentlemen. Luckily, we have developed our own tools, which are even more advanced than a lot of the top labs. We don't have to send off the samples, so we're able to run the analysis right here. I do have to admit, it came up with some very strange findings.
Like what? Now you have me curious.
Well, it came back with some very unusual readings. In fact, so unusual that I had to run some further tests. I compared Massive Jeff's DNA against all kinds of historical records, based on archaeological findings and so forth. Based on that, I did some more digging, and this is what I came up with.
Okay, so what is that? It just looks like an older version of Massive Jeff.
That's the thing. Not only older, but much, much older. I know this may be hard to believe, but the DNA actually corresponds to a race that is thought to simply be legendary folklore. It appears that our friend here may only be part human. He may also be part ogre. Now, before you start arguing against that, let me show you what I found in the historical archives.
Mythical monsters unveiled. The origins of ogres and trolls. Introduction. The legends of ogres and trolls have been a part of human folklore for centuries, with tales of these monstrous creatures being passed down from generation to generation. But where did the origins of these legends come from? In order to understand the roots of these legends, we must delve into the history and mythology of various cultures around the world. Norse mythology. In Norse mythology, trolls were depicted as large, brutish creatures that lived in caves and mountains. They were known to be fierce and dangerous, often attacking travelers who dared to cross their paths. Meanwhile, the giants of Norse mythology were similar to ogres in other cultures, often portrayed as dim-witted and clumsy but possessing immense strength and endurance. European folklore. In European folklore, ogres were often portrayed as man-eating monsters with a taste for human flesh. They were typically depicted as large, ugly creatures with sharp teeth and claws. Trolls, on the other hand, were often seen as mischievous rather than outright evil. They were known to play pranks on humans and were sometimes even helpful, although they could also be dangerous if angered. Asian mythology. In Asian mythology, ogres and trolls were often associated with nature and the elements. In Japanese folklore, oni were demons that were said to cause natural disasters like earthquakes and floods. In Chinese mythology, there were many different types of demons and monsters, including the jiangshi, a type of undead creature that fed on the life force of living beings. Modern interpretations. In modern times, ogres and trolls have become popular characters in literature and media. From Shrek to World of Warcraft, these creatures have taken on new forms and personalities. Despite their evolution over time, the origins of these legends can still be traced back to the ancient myths and folklore of our ancestors. Conclusion. The legends of ogres and trolls may have originated in different parts of the world, but they share many common themes and characteristics. These monstrous creatures have captured our imaginations for centuries, inspiring countless stories and works of art. Whether they are depicted as fearsome beasts or lovable characters, one thing is certain: the legacy of the ogre and troll legends will continue to live on for generations to come.
While we consider these types of creatures legend only, there actually may be some basis to these legends in real life. Listen to this passage from the book of Genesis in the Bible. Genesis 6 verse 4 says, "There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown."
So what does that all mean?
As unbelievable as it may seem, according to this, demonic beings actually bred with human females, which birthed some very unusual creatures. The term sons of God in the Old Testament always refers to angelic or demonic beings, so somehow, whether it was possession of a man's body, or they were able to take on human form itself, it produced some superhuman beings. Many believe that all of the mythological tales sprang from these events and were passed on down through the centuries.
That would definitely explain why JEFFIPOO is such an asshole and a scammer.
Indeed it would. So it appears we're fighting much more than human elements in this situation.
Yes, and there's something else that I meant to tell you. I really didn't want to bring this up, but now it appears I'm forced to. Ugh.
What is it? Is it something serious? Come on, Doc, spill it.
Yeah, I want to know too. Is it something that's going to affect me too?
It will definitely affect all of us. We have been keeping this secret for some time. We have perfected what we believe to be a functional time machine. Many thought that time travel wasn't possible, but I think we've broken through and have perfected it. We were going to test it with a volunteer, the same as we did for the cloning machine. With better outcomes, of course.
So do you know if it really works? Who do you plan to test it with?
We were being very discreet with that aspect of it. We didn't want to openly advertise it for fear of it being misused. However, it appears that it has already been tested out.
Okay, you're making me nervous now. What do you mean when you say it's already been tested?
You know how people were saying that suddenly JEFFIPOO and his gang suddenly went silent? Well, we believe we found the reason why.
Holy moly, tickle my holy, that doesn't sound good.
No, it isn't. It appears that somehow Jeff and his cohorts discovered the machine. It has to be them. We came in and found the machine running, and I know for a fact we never turned it on. Also, the time knob had been turned, and I know we hadn't messed with that either. so it had to be done by somebody else.
So you think Jeff and his clones took themselves a little trip in the time machine?
Yes, it appears so. I think they just randomly turned the knob without actually knowing what they were doing. If it was them, then they are, right now, in the year 3023.